Hi, I'm Ross, and today we're going to be learning all about offshore wind energy. The power of the wind can do more than just rattle your windows. It can actually help us create electricity. Gigantic wind turbines harness the power of the wind to light up our homes and make our world a cleaner, greener place. We're surrounded by the sea here in Cornwall, which makes it the perfect place for offshore wind energy. It may even be an area of interest that you wish to work in the future. Let's meet some of the fascinating people working within the industry and find out a little bit more about their jobs.
Hi there, I'm Olaf and I'm a renewable energy engineer at Celtic Sea Power, and it's my job to figure out what kind of skills and knowledge young people in Cornwall like you might need if you want to work in the offshore wind industry in the future. So come inside and I'll show you a little bit more.
Here in Cornwall, we're surrounded by the Celtic Sea, and there's so much potential to use the wind energy offshore. Celtic Sea Power exists to break down some of the barriers that we might face when we're trying to build those offshore wind farms. And those are things like making sure we have the right people to work, we have the right systems in place, like the electricity systems, and we have the right ports and boats that we need to do the work offshore. At Celtic Sea Power, we have people doing lots of different jobs, like designing electricity power stations, researching and speaking to local companies, finding out what the conditions are like far out to sea, and figuring out what we can do with all the renewable energy, which we're going to bring on shore from floating offshore wind.
Working here has given me the chance to meet so many different people with different skills, and one of the best parts of my job is getting out to schools to communicate those skills to young people across Cornwall.
Let's go and meet one of our engineers, and she can tell us a bit more about her job.
Hi, I'm Amelia and I'm an energy engineer at Celtic Sea Power. It's my job to work out how people in Cornwall are going to use the energy from offshore wind. I collect information and use computer programming to find solutions so that businesses in Cornwall can use renewable energy. In my typical day as an engineer, I use maths, creativity and teamwork to do my job. The best part of my job is that I get to help make Cornwall more environmentally friendly.
Did you know that some offshore wind turbines can be as tall as the Eiffel Tower? Their blades are longer than the wings on a jumbo jet, and they can generate as much electricity as tens of onshore turbines.
When we design offshore wind farms, we also have to design ways to bring all the electricity from the wind turbines back to the shore so that we can use it in our homes and our businesses. And to do that, we use cables just like you use at home, but much, much bigger. So I've got some examples of the kind of cables you might have seen at home. I've cut them open safely, but it's really important you don't cut cables open when you're at home. This is a phone charger, so a phone doesn't use very much electricity, and that's why this cable is very, very small. And if you have a cross-section, you can see just how small that cable is. If you wanted to do something like power a microwave or a toaster or a television, you'd need a slightly bigger cable, something like this. And you can see if you slice that open, it's a little bit more wire in there because you've got a bit more electricity. When we bring power from turbines back to shore, we need a much bigger cable, something like this. So this is just the same as if you sliced open a toaster cable. If you sliced open an offshore wind cable, it would look something like this. It's the same design to bring the electricity back to shore, but on a much, much bigger cable. And the cable that this came from is over 10 miles long.
It's not all about wind turbines and electricity. Let's find out about some of the other really important work that we do.
Hi everyone, I'm Harrison and I'm an environmental impact specialist. I've always been interested in everything to do with the ocean, and I love animals, from fish to whales and everything in between. So I decided to do marine biology as a degree. My job is important to Cornwall because it's home to so many animals, and it's really important that we protect them. I look at all the possible impacts that could occur because of offshore wind, and it's important for me to understand not only what species are there, but whereabouts they are. So I'm here today in Moundsville to meet Nick, because he's got a gadget that can help me out.
This is to detect dolphins and porpoises in the sea. It's got a microphone there, and it hears the clicks the dolphin makes. We've got data from all over the place. You know, one of the most exciting bits for me was we discovered this stuff, which kind of looks very colourful there, but what it is one animal talking to another. To the other dolphin, this is kind of what it would sound like.
So Nick, it's amazing you have this base down here in Cornwall, but who could in the future work on this kind of stuff?
Well, it's not just the future, it's already actually, there's a lot of people using this stuff, and then there's building all the components of it, there's electronic circuit board design, there's the people who build the actual boards, there's the computer side of it, there's looking after the customers, which all happens here, so just a lot of different jobs.
Nick, thank you very much for your time today.
Okay, yeah, anytime, Harrison.
It was really interesting meeting Nick and hearing about the F-Pods. Learning new things is one of the best parts of my job.
Thanks to everyone for sharing their work with us today. Are there any jobs you might like to do in the future? Offshore wind is a really important part of our green energy network. And right here in Cornwall is a great place to be if you're interested in this exciting industry.